Joining me now is North Carolina Congressman Pat Harrigan. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. What can you tell us about this? Of course, the fight over Obamacare subsidies is what caused that record 43-day shutdown in the first place.
Hey, good morning, Maria. It's always great to be with you. I think there's no question that what came out of that shutdown was the definition of what will define the 2026 elections, which is healthcare and healthcare crisis. That issue is not going to go away for anybody. As we all know, Americans are seeing significant raises in their healthcare premiums and associated costs. And so at the end of this week, we actually put forward a bill that takes some really solid, common sense, free market approaches to reducing healthcare expenses for folks. I mean, I think many folks across the country will see reductions of up to 20% in their associated healthcare costs. And I think this is just the beginning. We've got to put forward a full-blown reconciliation package that is built around changing the healthcare system and creating healthcare affordability in the beginning of next year. And I think that's exactly what you're going to see congressional Republicans embark on. This
package, quote unquote, minibus of these appropriations bills, do you think that's going to be enough to ward off a potential shutdown at the end of January by your colleagues on the left?
It all depends on what my colleagues on the left decide to do, Maria. At the end of the day, if we do get that minibus across the finish line, it takes all the teeth out of a potential government shutdown. So certainly we would like to see that for the sake of the American people and not have to run around a second iteration of the circus that we did in the third quarter of this year, fourth quarter of this year, early. Nice. We don't want to see that happen again. That's not good for the American people, as we've always said. The only folks that the only thing that happens during a shutdown is the American people lose. So we need to avoid that at all costs. But that does not mean that we need to go down the road of green lighting programs that do not work, spending hundreds of billions of dollars, moving away from the reforms that we actually created in the One Big Beautiful Bill, the Working Families Tax Cuts Act, during the first reconciliation package at the beginning of this year.
Meanwhile, the House rejected two Democrat-led war power resolutions aimed at limiting President Trump's military actions. One was to stop the U.S. strikes on suspected drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. Congressman, you introduced legislation to target cartels and organized crime through federal grant funding. Tell us about it.
Well, we've had a number of different interactions on these topics, trying to curb the illicit trafficking of drugs, particularly fentanyl, and all of the associated ills that come with it, like human trafficking. That's something that our office is incredibly passionate about stopping. And so, look, number one, if you want to stop the flow of drugs, you got to stop the flow of money. And that means that you've got to stop the flow of money through remittances, utilizing wire transfer organizations from the United States back down into Latin America. It is actually estimated that up to 26% of the remittances that are moving from the U.S. down to Latin America are supporting the drug trade or human trafficking. That's absolutely not acceptable. So our legislation goes in and puts very significant restrictions on these wire transfer organizations, making sure that the U.S. government has clarity about what these transactions are being used for.
Yeah, I see. The suspect accused of causing a fatal pileup in Tennessee last week is an illegal alien who obtained a commercial driver's license in the sanctuary state of New York. One person was killed in that accident. Two others were injured. And officials say the driver crossed the U.S.-Mexico border in 2023 and was released under the Biden administration. This is a Chinese national who failed the English proficiency test after the crash, Congressman. This is just ridiculous that we've got people driving these huge trucks that cannot even speak English and obviously cannot read traffic signs. You introduced the Safe Drivers Act to require English testing before any commercial driver's license is issued. Is this going to get across the finish line? And, you know, why is it that these driver's licenses are being issued like this?
Well, Maria, this is absolute insanity that we have this going on in our country right now. It just defies common sense, and it's because of states like California and Illinois and New York that simply are flouting federal law that already has requirements for English language proficiency prior to issuing a commercial driver's license that puts an illegal alien behind an 80,000-pound missile moving down the highway that is repeatedly and will continue to repeatedly kill American citizens. It's absolutely irresponsible. In my opinion, it's actually criminally negligent that we've allowed this to happen. But what the Safe Drivers Act does is it actually brings federal teeth into this process and says there will be a standardized way that we test for English language proficiency. And not only will that impact all new commercial driver's licenses issued across the country, it will actually go back in retroactively when all of these folks that have been issued, wrongly issued commercial driver's license that are already operating on our roads have to come back for a license renewal. And if the states don't comply, we authorize the Secretary of Transportation to withhold their federal highway funds, which, by the way, is billions and billions of dollars. This bill has real teeth. We've got 36 co-sponsors. I actually think that we can get this one across the finish line, Maria.
No, that is great. If you believe that it has that kind of teeth. Todd Pyro, jump in here.
I don't understand the why states would fight this. And I use my state of Connecticut as an example. This is not a new problem there. We have a road called the Merritt Parkway where no trucks are allowed. What happens, though, is you have these drivers of these trucks that don't speak English, that don't see all the signs in English saying, if you're a truck, get off here. And they end up ripping open the top of their cab like it's a sardine can. So why are states fighting you on this if ultimately it's going to save the lives of people in their state?
I think it comes down to they just don't want to admit that they're wrong, right? I mean, the Democrats since the 2024 election where President Trump got elected have just been doubling down on failed policy that has led the American people down the road to failed outcomes. And the problem with truck driving is that this is costing Americans lives, and it's happening every single month, if not multiple times a month. And it's just got to stop. I mean, we should not put up with this in any way, shape, or form. This should not be a partisan issue. This is a common sense issue that's affecting Americans of all flavors, American families, and it's killing children on our highways. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Unbelievable. I mean, how inept. Congressman, thank you so much. We'll be